Mama Duck had a baby.
Hello! Hi, kids. Come on.
It's starting to rain, guys, which is awesome. It's only going to be a little bit today, and we're supposed to get much more tomorrow. So hopefully we can wet the garden a bit and put a couple of 100 litres in the water tank. It'll be nice. Okay. Guess what we're eating for dinner tonight?
What?
A cow's tail.
Ew!
It is totally the wrong climate to be making soup. It's probably around 32 degrees. It feels like it might be a tad hotter than that today. But we've run our freezer completely out of meat because we're getting half a steer next Wednesday. And I didn't want to be buying meat and then having to use that while we've got our own homegrown meat in the freezer. So the deal is that our neighbours who are just cattle on our property said that instead of paying us, that they would give us half a butcher's deer for 6 months adjustment, which is great because basically we want a cow straight away, but we weren't ready for the commitment because we were new to this homesteading thing. Paul's never had cows before. He knew sheep, and we've expanded so much. I mean, we've got pigs, we've got 32 sheep, we've got a bazillion chickens and ducks and geese and guinea fowl and quail. So I wasn't ready to look after cows solo while Paul was at work because I didn't know how to raise them and I didn't feel confident looking after them just in case one got out, even though I now do. But we wanted to keep the grass down because we have 40 acres down the bottom that's not being looked after, and we are in a bushfire risk area, and basically we wanted to keep the grass down so we didn't have that threat to the house during summertime. So we're really thrilled that we get this half a cow. But even though it was butchered 2 days ago, and my neighbour popped in yesterday and she gave me a present because they didn't want it. It is the tail of the cow. So I'm going to cook that up today. I was so excited when she offered it to me because oxtail is very nostalgic for me. My mum used to cook it and I really enjoyed eating it. So I'm cooking it up today. It's the last piece of meat we have in the freezer until we wait for our steer next week. So while I prepare everything, I'm going to start frying my onions off. Now I haven't looked in here yet, so I don't know if it's entire or if it's been cut up. So it's basically entire, so I've never done this before, but I'm going to have to cut this into knuckles, I suppose would be the best way to describe it. So oxtail is the tail of the cow, and it's considered offal, but I love it. The kids are a bit freaked out about it, but you know, this is the part of raising your own meat, is using the entire animal. Wow, okay. So let's hope I can do this, because I've never done this bit before. It's cutting between the cartilage. Okay. So basically it's got all this cartilage and you just cut between them. So it's really just a guessing game because I can't really see it. I'm certainly not a butcher. So I don't actually think there's cartilage. I think you're just cutting through, like there's like this bit of cartilage, I suppose, that runs through the middle. And I thought I was cutting between them, but I don't think I am. I think it's just finding a spot and cutting. Anyway, there we go. Learned something new. So I'm just sweating the onions off. They're starting to go translucent, so I'm going to add my oxtail. When I asked my mum for the recipe, she said a bit of this and a bit of that. So I'm going to follow her recipe loosely because I don't have all the ingredients, and I also don't use stock cubes, which she uses. And I know that they give it a great flavour, but I just don't use stock cubes. But I do have some Thermomix stock paste in the fridge, which I made myself. Now, Thermomix stock paste is kind of just like really salty vegetables that you blend up and cook together with some herbs. And a little bit of pepper and some, yeah. So basically it's a very loose recipe that you can alter to what you have, which I do. Mine's always different. I just use what I've got in the garden. But just Google Thermomix or TM stock paste and you should find a recipe. There's no reason why you can't do that on the stovetop and then pop it in a blender or use a stick mixer to get it nice and smooth afterwards. So that's what I'm going to use instead of the stock cubes. I also don't have any celery at the moment, so I'm just using zucchini, kohlrabi and carrots. I think Mum's was onions, carrots and celery. I'm not sure what else, but that's what I'm making today. These are all from my garden that I picked today, which is awesome. So I'm just going to cover the beef with a couple of litres of water. And I'm going to add in a tablespoon of stock paste. So this is what mine looks like, but it's always different. So, yeah. Really highly recommend this. This gets rid of MSG, artificial colours, flavours, all the lot. So I highly recommend that you make your own stock. Bone broth is great, but I don't always have room, time or the inclination to make it. So this is a great backup for when I don't have bone broth on hand. I'm going to pop my zucchini in and then I'm going to continue chopping. I find it such an important responsibility to eat nose to tail when you're butchering or eating an animal. I mean, it's nice to eat steak every night. Yes, I'd love to eat steak every night, but the thing is, an animal had to die for us to eat it, and there's no point chucking out a heap of meat because we're too picky to eat it. There was a time not that long ago where we would eat any part of the animal because we lived in a time where we valued life, we valued the animal, we valued the work that it went into raising and butchering an animal, and we also lived in a time where we were more frugal. So this is something that we want to continue on our homesteading journey. It's not something I've necessarily lived when we lived in suburbia, because I would pick and choose what cuts we would eat. But now that we live out here and we want to raise our own animals, I can't be picky. There's going to be a certain amount of chuck steak. There's going to be a certain amount of rump steak. There's going to be a certain amount of eye fillet. And we just have to eat and live according to that. Oxtail is actually quite expensive now because I suppose people are getting into the trend of nose to tail eating, and there's only one tail on a beast. And when I tried to buy it a few years ago, it was $15 a kilo, and I wasn't paying that for a tail because a lot of it is bone, which is fine. It makes a beautiful stock. But I rather buy chuck steak for $10 a kilo and it be more filling and hearty than to just spend that money on a tail. Just going to pop this in and then I'm going to chop up my carrots. The last thing I want to add are these bloody beans that I've just picked from the garden. I've never cooked with fresh shelling beans before, so this is a lot of fun. I didn't have many, my plants didn't really like the location, so I only had a few that were healthy and happy, but I think it will be fun to find a couple of these tonight. This meal is 100% homegrown. The only thing in here that I did not grow myself is the salt and the pepper. Well, I didn't really raise the beef myself, but my neighbours did. So, we're about to eat the oxtail soup. The kids are highly unimpressed, so you can laugh at their reactions. Jai's got his angry face on. But Chris from Homesteading the Hard Way, we're currently brainstorming some Aussie slang to send to you guys because we want you guys to figure out what we're actually saying. Yes, it was a big cow. So you like this, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, we can only eat this once a year.
Oh.
If you turn, is that one meal have a whole tail? I thought we made at least 2.
Do you like it, Jai?
Yeah, beef.
Beef.
It's meat.
Is it yes or no?
Otherwise, would you rather eat just veggies or would you like some meat?
Just meat.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Short meat.
That's like a man. Yeah.
Do you like it, Zara? Oh, no, you keep going back to the bone. Israel likes it. Does Daddy like it? Does Daddy like it?
Mama duck has had 6 ducklings today. Whoa, she just shot it on me again. Second time she's put it on me.